We're here. It's time! Welcome everyone to an Imperial Knights tier list. Of course, we each needed a book to shake around.
That's right. I get the cooler one.
You get the new one.
That's what I said.
This brand new Imperial Knight Codex, which... Woo! Spicy, spicy stuff, everyone. Hopefully, you are all equally as excited as Jack and I are for this Imperial Knights tier list.
Oh, I'm pretty hyped. Knights are a cool army. Mm-hmm. They look gorgeous. Every time you play against them, they always are like, yeah, I took 1,000. This is what 1,000 hours of painting looks like, or whatever. You know, they just pour their heart and soul out into the models, and they look gorgeous.
I love Knights. It's super cool looking army. Wonderful lore. Some of the Imperial armies get a little bit boring sometimes. You know, like in like the greater like 40k aesthetic. But you know what? Love me some Imperial Knights.
Yeah, and they've also managed to make them not just a boring stats check, which they were before.
Yeah, so we've already done
Chaos Knights.
Especially Chaos Knights.
Especially Chaos Knights.
We've already done some reviews, obviously, where Mr. Jack and Mr. Richard Siegler did a thorough review of the Imperial Knights Codex.
That's right, read right through it.
Yep, and that's already on our YouTube channel. So if you want all the rules, all the goodness, well, when you're done with this one, pop on over, check that video out.
We read the whole thing cover to cover. Well, all the rules cover
to cover. We'll talk about the lore later. You know,
I don't need to read the history of, House Volker.
I already read it.
And Bellis Prime. And, okay, there's not actually any names. I was going to try and go for the...
no, they're just Knights.
They're just Knights.
So very, very exciting times here. We're going to be ranking all of the data sheets, of course.
They're pretty.
They are pretty. I like the heraldry sections because I like, when I only have like 7 models in the army, I like to paint them right. I like having little heraldry differences in my Knights. Yes, Knights. We'll be ranking the Imperial Armor Compendium ones as well, and we are going to rank them as is. There's definitely the possibility of an FAQ coming in.
Yeah, we'll check keywords and see what buffs can go on which Forge World Knights.
I think, however, that the Imperial Knights Codex keywords are already up to date with what they wanted from these.
I think they are. The Chaos Knights one still isn't a full codex later.
Yeah.
But, just imagine that meme of the guy putting on clown makeup. I'm sure this time they'll update them.
That's right. We'll have a Chaos Knight tier list tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
But for now,
it's Loyalist Knights time.
Best Knights time. No spikes necessary. All right. So... let me actually open up to the Imperial Knight part of this, because I'm going to be honest, some of these Forge World Knights, I'm going to need a minute. So let's just get down the line. So of course, we do have 5 categories here that we are ranking, as always.
Looks like you're up for the time being.
Absolutely.
Mr. London over here is, he pulled the duty of you doing the Forge World Knights.
I really did, yeah.
Yeah, he asked me which one I wanted to do, and I was like, here you go.
All right, so first up, I think we have the Knight Acheron. The Knight Acheron is the guy with a flamer and a chain fist.
A chain fist?
It's a Reaper chain fist.
Okay.
It's literally like that thing on the screen that looks like it's a sword. That's actually like a very long chain blade.
Oh shoot! We found something that can be.
Oh, you noticed?
They have a saw profile, which means they can be competitive edged.
Yeah, that is a funny thing here, is that a lot of these Forge World Knights we're literally going to be checking the weapon profiles here. But let's talk about the Acheron. So the Acheron, not a bad knight at all. It's Cerastus class, unfortunately, which means that a lot of its keywords aren't going to line up the way you want. It comes with a flame cannon, which is 2d6, strength 7, AP2, damage 3. Basically makes it like a slightly better, slightly worse version than the Valiant. It's less shots, but flat 3.
Yeah.
I do like flat damage 3 a lot.
Well, it's also like just a better version of the chain cannon.
Yeah.
Like it's just a damage 3 auto hitting version of the chain cannon.
Oh, yeah.
So the Paladin with the rapid fire battle cannon is damage 3, but it auto hits.
Yep.
The Acheron auto hits.
Yeah. It is move 12, which makes it a little bit faster than some of the other knights. A lot of them went to move 10 in the book. I think overall that it doesn't really do enough unique things. Because it's Cerastus class, it doesn't get a lot of buffs.
Yeah.
Because almost every... So half of the buffs in here are like 1 CP Armiger, 2 CP Questors, 3 CP Other.
Oh, yeah.
So or it'll say X for Dominus, Y for Questoris, and it won't even have a clause for Other. So not everything works on the Acheron.
Or it has to spend
Can
a
you
lot.
buy it like Warlord traits and relics and things?
One of them will become a character.
Yeah. So it could be your Warlord.
It could be your Warlord. I believe it is locked. It may actually just be a vehicle model in your army. Let's check. Heirlooms of the household. Select one Imperial Knights model. Okay. If your Warlord has the Imperial Knights keyword, select one Imperial Knights model to gain character and determine a Warlord trait. And Imperial Knight's character gains an extra Warlord trait. None of those are locked because Armigers are also supposed to be able to get these as well.
Okay, but now here's a question. How many of those relics are Questoris only?
That's a good question. Sanctuary cannot be taken. Ravager requires a Reaper Chainsword. Armor of the Sainted Ion cannot be taken. Nameless Warrior can't be taken.
All of those are Questoris.
Dominatus. Sphere requires a specific weapon. Armiger. Questoris. Preceptor. Questoris. Armiger. Specific weapon. Valiant. Castellan. Requires a specific weapon. Literally 0 of the relics can be taken.
So none of the relics can go on a Cerastus Knight.
Yes.
And we're diving into this now because we're probably going to bring this back up when we're talking about every Cerastus Knight.
Yes.
So no relics for the Acheron. Warlord traits aren't bad on it. Its sweep attack is unfortunately a little bit worse than like the conventional ones. So to make 3 hit rolls instead of 1, same as a normal knight.
It's AP2 instead of like AP4.
It's AP2 damage D3, whereas the traditional chainsword sweep attack is AP3 damage 2.
The sweep is AP3 damage 2.
Yeah, so this is just like 1 worse AP and random damage instead of flat 2.
Yep, so, same number of attacks.
Can't really get excited about the Cerastus Knight Acheron in combat.
And the Titanic feet do not have a profile in the book, which means they are using the new profile in here, which is significantly worse.
Yep. So I don't really see much in the Acheron to be exciting, unfortunately. I would love it if some of these like Forge World Knights got an FAQ set they received one of. Like honestly, I would love it if each Cerastus Knight got the same command phase buff as a different corresponding like Imperial Knight. But I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I would
highly optimistic of me.
Yes.
All right, but we're gonna call that for now. I think this Cerastus Knight Acheron is gonna go in FAQ me. Unfortunately.
How many points is it?
Okay, that's a fair call.
It is more wounds, and in Mechanicus it'll go up to 28 wounds.
Yep.
That's a decent amount of wounds. Yes. Yeah, you might as well pull up the...
I'm just gonna have Battlescribe open just to get it up to date. Although I guess we'll need this for the GW ones.
These actually didn't change that much.
Not much.
It's like 5 points up or down, 10 points up or down usually.
Yeah, my memory of the Acheron is that it costed like 430 or something.
I remember it being like damage output is just bad. Like it's not good.
Yeah, because it's only gun. So it has a twin heavy bolter.
Woo.
Sure, fine. Better than having a stubber, I guess.
Yeah.
The flame cannon, and then it punches you in combat. But like its punches isn't that good. It's strength times 2, AP 4 damage 6, which I think is the same as a fist.
Sure. I mean, a fist is, I believe, the same. Yeah. Freedom's hand is probably different.
Mm-hmm. And yes, for those in the chat, the Fort Shrine, the fortification, is not mentioned in this codex in any way, shape, or form.
So the Thunderstrike Gauntlet is times 2 AP 3 damage 8.
Okay, so this is plus 1 AP but 2 less damage.
Yeah, which is
it's different. It's not strictly worse because 6 versus 8 is like rarely actually going to matter.
And the Reaper Chainsword is strength 14, AP 4 damage 6.
So it's a plus 2 strength version of the Chainsword that's worse sweep.
Yes.
All right, that is
like
what it is.
Like a significantly worse sweep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna
against most targets in the game, a Reaper Chainsword is flat out better.
Yep.
And against toughness 8, the Reaper Chain Fist is fine.
Yep. Okay.
And against small targets, it's much.
I still think that this is an FAQ me scenario.
I think so. It just doesn't have any damage for something that's that expensive.
Yeah, and I can pull it up. Obviously not going to get any kind of relics on here to buff the damage because you cannot take any relics.
Yep, no relics.
That pains me.
That is very unfortunate. So the Cerastus Knight Acheron is 480.
Whoa!
Put that in FAQ me immediately.
Yeah.
430 was like, woof, that's too much. 480 is ludicrous.
That is painful.
All right.
Next up, we have the Asterius.
The Acastus Knight Asterius.
Okay, so the Acastus...
It's good you're on the Forge roll because I don't know any of these.
Yep. Yeah, that's... Yeah, welcome in, Battletide. We're just getting started. We just ranked the first night and just talked about how we're going to be doing it. But the Acastus Knight Asterius, this is one of the big boys. It is the Acastus class. So it's like the big, thick one that looks like a turtle on stilts.
Yep, has 30 wounds. It's going to have 32 in Mechanicus.
Solid.
It is thick.
It is
cannot get
slow.
relics. Same. I don't think any of these can get relics, actually.
I don't believe so. Only the Morax, ironically.
The Magaera, is the Magaera a
It is
Questoris?
Questoris class, yes, so it can.
Wild. So the best one stays the best one. I mean, spoiler alert.
Yeah. We should have done what the fac instead of fac me. That's pretty good still. Yeah, the Acheron side is serious. So it shoots, and it doesn't even try to combat, because it's like weapon skill 4, 8-inch move, and it only has Titanic Feet.
Yeah, Titanic Feet now are so bad. And it's 3 attacks.
And it's 3 attacks.
So it just falls back and shoots. You just don't stop it from shooting.
Yep. But what it does for that is it gets a double Volkite.
I mean, unless
Culverin.
they block out 8 inches on your massive base, which is
Or
not
4
actually
inches.
that difficult.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of blasts. It's not shooting combat much. So it has a Karachnos mortar battery, which I'll admit sounds pretty dope.
That does, yeah.
Unfortunately, despite being a mortar battery, it does need line of sight.
Wild.
Yep. But it always wounds on a 2, unless it targets a vehicle Titanic with its 3d3 AP1 damage 1 shots. Yay.
Yeah, that's not great. That's 6 shots on average, hitting on 3s with no rerolls. That's not great.
And then it has double like conversion cannons. And these things admittedly are beefy. With 2 each, it can put out 4d3 shots, strength 16, AP3, damage 6 blast. But when you compare that to other big chunky super heavies, that doesn't really feel like the right.
Twin conversion beam cannons, and then
it has 2 of them.
2 of those.
So it puts out
8 shots that hurt.
Yeah.
The problem is, would you like to be very sad?
I already am. I already know how many points this thing costs.
How many points does it cost?
750.
Clean 750.
So like, I don't understand how this thing costs like 300 points more than a knight for like plus 6 wounds. Some guns, like this is...
The guns are good.
This thing is going straight to the bottom.
I don't know why it costs double the amount of another knight.
Yeah.
Like, the gun is good. An average of 8 shots at strength 16 minus 3, damage 6 with blast on it is like...
There is nothing I love more than giving it a sister battle of 4-up save and cover with my 750 point knight.
Yeah, kind of weird that something hits that hard is like...
AP3.
16 strength and damage 6, it has a minus 3 in the middle.
This needs to be like minus 5 and then also more shots. And
I don't know. I don't know if it needs to be more shots. This thing looks at vehicles and goes, bye.
True.
I mean, like, this into NIDS is actually pretty effective.
It's true. 14 minus 2, 4.
Oh, that's right. You have to be over 48 in order to get that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's trash.
And still have line of sight.
That's trash. No, that's trash.
It's
that's
pretty
terrible.
bad, yeah. And if you're within 24, it's 12 AP 1 damage 2.
Oh, that's
it's
so
750 point knight.
Yeah, 750 points, and most of the time you're going to be operating at AP 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is rough.
And you also don't have that many rerolls. Like you can engineer some rerolls in.
Yeah, I'm still throwing the Asterius just straight into the bottom. This is a model you buy because you like the look of the big turtle knight, which you know what, I don't blame you for.
To be fair, guns are fine-ish. Yeah. Not great. Not great. Not great. 750 points slams it straight in the bottom of FACME, and like I don't know what else to say to that.
Oh, there is nothing else to say.
What are we looking at here, buddy?
Next up, we're looking at the Atropos, which is my personal favorite of the Forge-Roll Knights.
All right.
The Atropos is a little bit pricey, but it's honestly not that bad. I think
does it say?
520.
It is still 520, yes.
Yeah, well, considering that a Magaera is like 500
now.
Yeah, it's not bad. So,
is this the
This is the one we used in the Apocalypse game.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's a Cerastus, so it's the 26, so the 2 extra wounds. Moves 12, so it's a little bit speedier than a normal knight, which does add up.
Oh, is that the one right over there?
The guy over there, yeah.
Okay.
I really like that one.
It's on the shelf right next to us.
So I keep it in my office. So it's nice in that it actually has 2 guns and is still a good profile in combat. So it has a focus attack in combat, which in melee is strength 12, AP 4, damage 6, and you can reroll wounds against monsters and vehicles.
Yeah, the sweep is really where I want the competitive edge, not so much the smash.
Yeah, unfortunately, sweep is where you don't get to competitive edge.
Right, it's sweep or strike, I believe, that you don't get it on.
And sweep is strength 6, AP 2, damage 3 hit rolls instead of 1 at 4. So it's weird in that compared to a chainsword, it's 2 less strength, 1 worse AP, but plus 1 damage on the sweep attack.
Yeah.
And then the gauntlet has a damage 3 sweep attack, but it only makes 2 hits, not 3. So this is actually a really good anti-nid weapon. Funny enough.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't hate it in combat. I like how it just shoots instead of its combat weapon, the Atropos Last Cutter.
Yeah, it just also shoots. So that's one shot at heavy 1, strength 12, AP 4, damage 6, real wounds against monsters' vehicles. And then its graviton weapon is D6 plus 4 shots at 14 minus 4 flat 3. And then you can take mortals on a 50% chance to take mortals when you overcharge it. But even if you just do the normal shots, it's 833. Like I don't mind it.
I would overcharge that every single time.
You're gonna overcharge every single time, and you'll take it as Mechanicus that it's 28 wounds and it heals 1 at the beginning. So right at the bottom right now we have the Acheron and the Asterius. We're just random sorting. This has given us the A's first, which is all the Forge World ones.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Atropos also does have a lot of the cool things to it. So it's +1 to hit against Titanic. It has a 5-up invuln in combat,
which is nice. You can no longer rotate in combat.
You can no longer rotate in combat, but still, it's not bad.
It's not bad. Having a 5-up in combat does matter.
Yep.
It does.
But it is a Cerastus, which means it doesn't get relics.
Imperial Knights aren't as hard to take down in combat as Chaos Knights. Mm-hmm. Chaos Knights just go -1 damage in combat and just tell you to
kick rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that this is good for a Forge World tonight. I think it's still going to fall into flawed choice for me, which makes me sad. So. I love it, but it can't rotate in combat anymore, and it can no longer take relics.
Yeah, not being able to take relics does suck.
And then the rest of the mainline codex has gotten better around it, where it has not improved at all.
To be clear, the reason it can't take relics, I'll bring this up every so often, is not because the strat doesn't work on it. The strat does work. You can purchase a relic for it, but then when you go to actually buy a relic, you can take 0 of the relics on them.
Yep. So because every single relic either replaces a specific weapon that this person does not have access to, or it is Questoris or Armiger class.
Yep.
Which is funny because I remember we were looking at the relics trying to find one for the Castellan, and literally you can only buy the Dominus Knights their relic specific weapons.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, that's weird, and then we're like, oh, that means that there's nothing left for the Cerastus class.
Yeah. I do think the Cerastus class is dope. I just don't think it actually makes sense.
I love the models. The Forge World Knight models just make me very happy inside.
The Graviton Singularity Cannon is a good gun.
Yeah, that is a good, solid gun. I mean, 14, 4, 3, pretty darn good.
Yeah.
We'll for the chat, we'll be talking about points values as we go over each unit. Yeah. So when we mention datasheet, we'll probably mention how many.
So the Atropos is 520. I think if it was down 40, it could move up to perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's just got a good profile on a lot of its weapons.
If they go in and they make an FAQ that lets some of these things work on Cerastus Knights, that'd be cool, but I don't expect them to. So I don't think that's real.
It's also just not that reliable. You roll a 1 on the singularity shot, and you 5 shots, and it's just I don't love that.
Yeah. All right, here's one for you.
All right, you got
Canis Rex. Yes.
With Sir Hector. Mm-hmm. It was fun for me and Siegs to go through the book and see which strats could affect Sir Hector on foot and which strats couldn't. Because some of them are Imperial Knights model, and some of them are Imperial Knights vehicle. And the only non-vehicle is Sir Hector on foot.
So I honestly just love that Sir Hector can get you 4 points for doing the action. Because he's a character and Imperial Knight model.
If it comes to that.
Honestly, why wouldn't it, right?
Yeah, why wouldn't it?
Who else wants to do that?
So looking at Canis Rex, he was a bit of a joke in the last book. The Preceptor was fine. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a problem with the Preceptor. It was cheap. That's what you liked about it.
Yeah.
Canis Rex was a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
But looking at him now, he's weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 2, which is pretty huge.
That helps a lot.
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
His guns, the last pulsar's the same. 2d6, strength 6, AP 2, damage 2. Blast, 36-inch range. Or 24-inch range, d6, strength 12, AP 4, damage 4, blast.
It's solid stats there.
I wish it was 2d3, because I hate to roll the 1 on my big knight.
I know.
Yeah, that sucks. And then it has a multi-laser, which is trash.
Better than a stubber.
Sure. And then he has Freedom's Hand.
Yep.
So Freedom's Hand, he has 5 attacks with weapon skill 2.
Okay.
Which is pretty good.
It doesn't have a negative built in anymore.
It does not have a negative built in, so he's just hitting on 2s. And so he is strength 16, AP 4, damage 8, and wound rolls of 6 do D3 mortals in addition.
Hot.
That is pretty hot. He'll kill some stuff with that. Mm-hmm. And the sweep is strength 10, AP 2, damage 3. 2 hit rolls, and every 6 to wound is an additional mortal.
And he's 5 attacks?
He's 5
So
base.
his sweep is 10 attacks, weapon skill 2, strength 10, damage 3.
AP 2, damage 3.
Canis Rex is actually pretty good, I think.
Yeah, and against non-Imperium, he has exploding 6s to hit.
In shooting and combat?
Yup.
That is like legitimately just solid.
And he's so once a battle round, you roll a hit, wound, charge, or saving throw made for him.
I always wait for the and I know it's going to be an or, but I'm always waiting for that.
Yeah, you're not Blood Angels.
Yeah, I know.
They're the only
All
ones
right,
that can
still, free savory rolls.
And he knows 3 teachings off Nightly Teachings, and he can chant 2 of them on a 3+.
So he knows, and I think the normal preceptor knows 2 chants 2.
With a relic, you know 3 chant 3, do it on a 2.
So he's not as good as a relic preceptor, but he's better than a normal one.
Yeah.
And then his stats in general are just pretty solid.
They're solid. You can spend 1 CP, I believe, maybe 2, to auto pass the chant.
I think it's 1.
I think it is 1. Yeah. I just wanted to check. So that is dope as hell.
I actually like Canis Rex a lot.
He's really good. Here's the downside. I saved the downside for last. He is a free blade.
Yes.
So that means you only take him in free blades. Otherwise, he breaks your detachments.
No, free blades specifically don't break detachments.
They break detachments if you include it in a normal detachment. Like if you...
Oh, you're saying it has to be in an Ox?
Yeah.
But your Ox is going to have the same faction keywords as your Warlord, so it's only going to cost 1 CP to include him.
Okay.
So if basically he's a 1 CP tax, I think that's fine. I will say, in a Freeblade Lance, I think I would totally include Canis Rex.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
the dude is. I'm checking to look what
stacked.
He is stacked. He for sure is. He is Questor Imperialis.
Okay.
So he does not have the +2 wounds and regen wounds. He instead has +1 advance, +1 charge, ignore charge modifiers, and he piles and consolidates like an additional 1 inch.
Okay.
Which is again,
those are all cute.
Dope.
Yeah.
Looking at the free blade stuff, I'm seeing what tradition he has to take. So.
I figured Canis Rex would say it on his own data sheet.
You would think.
No? Doesn't tell you?
No, it would be under free blades. I'll look it up and we'll get back to it. I think he's really good.
Yeah, I actually really like Canis Rex. Yeah. I think if he has to be in a separate attachment from the rest of your boys, then I think, because I honestly thought they had an except for free blade.
They may. It's a little complicated in here. Yeah. I think that I think they break something if you take a free blade.
Yeah.
But honestly, don't you get an agent? And they're an agent?
Yeah. So
agent would make them not break. So you could take 1 Canis.
Yeah, because I think he is agent.
He must have the mythic hero martial tradition, which is when determining which chivalric abilities are active for Imperial Knights models in your army, he counts the number of honor points that you have as being 2 higher than it actually is.
So he's going to often be valorous.
He's going to be valorous like almost right off the bat.
So you could if you leaned into that, you could make him a real beat stick.
Yeah, so he doesn't really have a use for the +1 to hit because he already hits on 2s unless your opponent's stacked with -1.
I was thinking the one isn't there one that does once a battle round you get an auto 6 on a thing.
Once per battle round, when you make an advance, hit, wound, or saving throw, you can change the result to a 6. So it's like Honor the Prince.
Yeah. So 1 auto passing a save after you fail it, right? Or is it after you roll?
After you roll.
So 1, that's amazing.
Yeah.
2 is if you use that strat on him where you change your damage characteristic to an equal number of mortals.
Yeah.
That means that on turn 2 he can rumble into combat. He can do 1 attack with the big fist. Hits on a 2, roll it. If you don't roll the 6, be here's 8 mortals. Or you could drop a 6 on the hit and then just be boom, double hits.
Yep. Yeah. No, I think he's really good.
Canis Rex actually slaps.
Yeah.
He's a little hard to get because he
Oh, and the honored ability in this one is reroll a hit or a wound roll.
And he already rerolls a hit or a wound or a save.
Yes.
So he can reroll a Can you reroll a save with that, or is it just a hit or wound?
Hit or wound.
Okay, I could totally see Lalo the Tyrant's Canis Rex in a free blade lance.
Also, once you hit 3 honor points and he goes to 5, he has OBSEC. And counts as 3 additional. So he's 13 models OBSEC.
13 models OBSEC.
Yeah, Canis Rex.
He's definitely strong choice. I don't really know what tournament night lists look like yet, so I don't want. I'm actually hesitant to put anything in tournament staples other than
I think
there's a couple that we're going to.
I think there's one that's going to go on there.
Yeah,
for sure.
But Canis Rex seems like an absolute beat stick.
He's 440.
That's very reasonable.
I think he goes in tournaments. This is obviously right after the books come out.
Yeah, screw it. Let's get hyped.
This is our
Canis Rex to top tier.
I think Canis Rex is really good.
All right, here's
the one thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to reroll the number of shots on the Laz Impulsor.
Jack,
like, often.
I need a bad influence in my life.
No on the Castellan, my man.
No. Should I paint up a separate Canis Rex?
Yeah. Do it.
I mean, you gotta know that Canis Rex is the man.
Okay, so let's also look at the teachings he gets access to.
Yeah,
that'll come up with the Preceptor.
And if we're going to do the teachings, we want to skip to the Preceptor.
Yeah, let's skip to the Preceptor.
All right, so tournaments...
Because that isn't all that Canis Rex has.
No. He also does the teachings.
So, nearby Noble Household Armiger class, this only works on free blades, I think. Because Noble Household, he doesn't have that. He only has free blades. So this only works on free blades.
So in a free blade lance, he'll be good.
So he only buffs Armigers, and Armigers. So this is only valuable in a free blade lance.
Oh, because they're all household?
They're all household.
I'm pretty
Armigers.
sure that Canis Rex has a rider in his that he buffs them even though they don't have the same. I remember him, like, I remember thinking, like, wow, he's garbage, but I think he helps,
In your command phase, smalls on the battlefield, and recount up to 2 teachings he knows that have not already been recounted. 3+ they're recounted, doesn't say anything in there. When a mentor model from your army recounts a teaching, replace all instances of noble household on the teaching with the name of the noble household. If your model is a free blade, this is instead replaced with free blade, unless that free blade is Canis Rex, in which case this is instead replaced with Imperial Knights. Yeah, that's dope.
Oh, okay. So he just buffs all Imperial Knight Armigers.
Yeah.
So he still works in a free blade lance, but he doesn't have to be in a free blade lance to work.
Yes.
Canis Rex.
Canis Rex. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, tournament staple with Canis Rex. That guy's a baller.
For 440, that dude slaps.
I also just love hitting on 2s when I don't have rerolls.
Also, with a CP reroll in the bank, he can auto pass a save.
Yep.
After you've rolled it. Lol. And re-roll 2 saving throws a turn.
Yeah. Canis Rex.
And he rerolls a hit or a wound. I think if you're running Canis Rex, you run those 2 vows. Mm-hmm. The one where you get a reroll to hit or wound.
Yeah.
And the one where you get the extra CP every turn. Defend the Realm and Laylo of the Tyrants.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Yeah, because with... what's the troth for Laylo of the Tyrants?
If less than 2 enemy units have been destroyed by attacks.
But this cancels out, because you're going to score this every single turn.
Yeah, you're going to score Defend the Realm every turn. But...
And if you destroy any warlord character, monster, or vehicle during a battle round with melee attack, then you get... Okay.
I think this is just trying to negate the troth while getting Defend the Realm.
And then I think what you do here is you stack that with the warlord trait and the banner of Macarius in the army, so that your army starts at 3, Canis Rex starts at 5, and you just cancel out those 2 and you occasionally get a vehicle kill to get you up for the army to 5.
Yep. Or, well, the thing is, this troth is you have to kill 2 units, and then that is a 0, and then this is a 1, so you go up. You don't even have to get the pledge.
Yeah. I'm just saying that as long as you get the pledge of Defend the Realms and the troth of Laylo of the Tyrants, these will just cancel out, because this is lose a point.
Yeah.
This is gain a point. So these will just cancel out and keep you even as long as you don't walk away from objectives. And then when you get the vehicle kills, you slowly go up. And then you start at 3, Canis Rex starts at 5.
Right, but as soon as you kill 2 units, right, you start at 3. As soon as you kill 2 units, one of them is a vehicle, boom, 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that works too.
I mean, but this isn't an Imperial Knights review.
I know.
This is Canis Rex.
Canis Rex is a baller.
I think he's dope. I wish he were Mechanicus. Like, pretty bad?
Yeah, but in a Free Blade Lance, he will gain the heal wound every turn.
He will gain the heal wound every turn.
Yeah. Yeah, he is missing the Mechanicus strats, unfortunately, but still, Canis Rex is a baller. All right, because
I wish he were I wish he had the operate at full. Yeah. I really do.
Because we just talked about the Preceptor, do you want to toss the Preceptor up now?
Yeah, we'll toss the Preceptor.
So the Preceptor is amazing. It doesn't do command phase targeted abilities, but it does the chance instead. And as we just talked about...
better at the chance than Rex.
He's better at the chance than Rex is because he gets access to that relic for +1 to cast. I think that if you're not... I think Canis Rex or Preceptor is going to be in literally every list.
Yeah.
Like, Preceptor seems super
The
strong.
buffs are insane.
I love Armigers.
Yeah, so I didn't actually go over them. I just said that all of them apply to Armigers.
Yeah.
An aura of exploding 6s to hit for Armigers. Okay, that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. An aura of 6 of Feel No Pain unless an Armiger is under a bondsman ability, then it's a 5 of Feel No Pain. Aura. Oath of Justice... yeah. While Armiger is within 6 inches, and is affected... So, while it's within 6 inches, they count as having 2 more honor points. Right?
Okay,
so with Canis Rex, you just start
every
the army.
Armiger
And Canis Rex would start at 5.
And then they'll get the exploding 6s really quickly. And then like by like the late game when you're already at 5, you'll stop doing this champ and you'll start doing the other two,
Yeah.
That's really good. So you can give
one thing though is that auto pass a save or whatever is not 1 per unit. It's once per battle round.
Oh, it's just 1 knight total?
For once per battle round, when you make an advance roll, hit roll, wound roll, or saving throw for 1 Imperial Knight's model from your army, you can change the result of that roll to a 6. So it's great when only Canis Rex has access to it early.
Yeah, but after that, it's a little less.
I mean, it's still good. Like, remember how save dice in Eldar mean that later on in the game, once damage is dropped off, there's a point where you're like, I can't eat through your save dice anymore? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just going to happen.
On knights.
Early in the game, Canis Rex is just going to be Canis Rexing people.
Yeah.
And then later in the game, you're like, yeah, you only have 3 anti-tank guns. So one of those, first off, I get 4 up saves against them. Mm-hmm. And then the one I fail is going to be no. Because it's not even Eldar save dice. This is after you've rolled it, you go, we're not doing that.
It's really strong.
Yeah. That's really
I think the Preceptor's rocking right up into tournament staples.
Yep. Yep, you can add a code to an Armiger model that they don't normally have, etc., etc. You can bounce bondsman abilities. They're just really solid buffs. And they go off on a 2+ with the relic. You always take the relic.
Yeah.
And the gun is, I believe, the same.
I'm so happy that it is. I'm so happy that I have the Preceptor already. Like his weapons are all magnetized and painted. I was ready for the Preceptor because it's just cool. All right,
and he's cheaper. 20 points cheaper.
Wow, Canis Rex is a bargain. Holy God! All right.
No. The Preceptor is cheaper.
It's 420, right?
420.
Yeah.
And Canis Rex is 440.
Yeah, I'll pay 20 points for that.
Yeah, Canis Rex is actually super hot.
There's a Knight Castellan.
Yeah.
So as we mentioned, they don't really get relics, only like the weapon relics, which I think is Call's Wrath.
Yeah, it's Call's Wrath, but they baked the previous version of Call's Wrath into it.
And what does Call's Wrath do now?
It just doesn't. You just don't take mortals when you roll ones.
Is that literally it?
Yeah.
It's like the same damage? Because I'll just take the mortals and call it a day.
It's a lot of mortals.
It's what? It's 2 mortals every time you roll a 1? Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah, it's and you don't reroll anything really. I mean,
yeah.
So
I see where this could become a problem. Yes.
Yeah, it does become a problem very quickly. Plasma Decimator. Each time a 1 is rolled with this weapon, bearer suffers 2 mortal wounds.
Okay.
So it is unboosted. It's 8 - 4 2 blast 2d6. Charged. It's 2d6 9 - 4 3 blast. Call's Wrath is always 2d6 8 - 4 3 blast. No 2 profiles.
So it never gets to damage strength 9.
It never gets to strength 9. Doesn't do mortals. Always 3 damage.
That is not a very good relic.
It is not. It is not worth the slot.
Yeah.
But I'm not happy taking 1,000,000 mortal wounds on my knight.
That is true. I figure that
I'm never
your
happy
Castellan,
having to spend it to get the 5 up against my own mortals.
I always feel like the Castellan, you're just going to bake some kind of reroll mechanic in it. Like you're either going to take that reroll a hit wound on it, or you're going to take you're going to take something.
Yeah. In this meta, being strength 9 is a massive boost over being strength 8 because you go -1 strength against Maleceptors.
You still get to win them on 4s. You don't win them on 5s. And also, there's probably going to be knights out if you're. By the time you're running knights, someone else will run knights.
I don't think you take Call's Wrath. It's baked into the profile functionally, which is quite nice. I think it's perfectly balanced. Technically, the wording means you can't shoot any of the guns. Siegs and I ran into that. We figured it out. Each time the bearer is selected to shoot, it can only make attacks with 1 shield breaker missile.
Okay. I don't think that's how... Well, we all know how it's supposed to work.
We all know that's not how it's supposed to be. But technically, you buy the 2 siege breaker cannons.
And then turn 1 and 2.
Turn 1 and 2, you can't shoot any of the guns.
Just only the siege breaker.
Yeah, until you're out.
Well, we're just going to ignore that.
Yeah, it's just funny.
It is funny.
If your TO rules it that way, I am so sorry.
No.
It should not work that way.
But anyways, so the Castellan, I think it's just honestly going perfectly balanced for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little more expensive than a normal knight. It shoots a lot harder. It doesn't get command phase buffs. It doesn't get relics. So it can warlord trait buff, and you can points buff it. And there is honestly, I think there's a strong argument for taking it in Mechanicus with, is it Forge Master that gives -1 damage in your deployment zone?
Yeah,
I don't mind that at all, because the Castellan can leave the deployment zone on turn 2 or 3 once it's gotten a couple rounds of violence in.
Yeah. On light terrain, a Castellan with Forge Master
is
it's problem. Actually a serious problem. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Noble Exemplar ability on Forge Master does not matter. It is, while an Armiger class model is under the effects, blah, 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 of a bondsman ability, which it doesn't have.
Yep.
Each time that makes an attack against a unit that is within your deployment zone, add 1 to the hit and wound. That does not matter.
No, it's really cute, but like, who cares?
So you take it on a Dominus with on the Castellan with, I'm going to sit in my deployment zone, get -1 damage on a knight.
That is so strong on a Castellan.
On some board setups.
Yeah.
Like at Dallas, that would have actually been really strong.
Yep.
It
would have been a huge problem.
It would have been a huge problem. Their terrain is light. Mm-hmm. But on GW terrain, it's going to do nothing.
Yeah. But I also like just leaving it in your deployment zone for 1 or 2 turns and then walking it forward.
Yep.
1 second.
Are we still... I think we're still live. I think that was just our computer died. Or not our computer. Our monitor died. Yeah, we're still live.
All right. That was funky, fun, and fresh.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You're... So the camera fell off the table. It was clipped on. It decided it didn't want to be.
Yeah.
So you're getting a kind of a behind-the-scenes look.
Yep. We're fixing it live.
It's on the studio view right now, if you want to pull up the tier list.
But I think this monitor got disconnected.
Right, so just pull the tier list.
I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to fix that part of that later.
Cool. That was...
Can you pull up the comments on your phone? Actually, I'll do it because you've got Battlescribe up.
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that, everyone.
So, anyway, Castellan with Forge Master.
Awkward. I hope this is a good angle. I can't see it. All right.
Could be decent. I think it's perfectly balanced. It shoots hard. Its Volcano Lance is not as reliable, but can do way more damage than before.
Which is terrifying to think about.
Yeah. So when I play against it, it's going to be,
3 shots, 3 hits, 3 wounds.
Yeah, like 14 damage every time a wound goes through. Sure. But when I play with it, it's 1 shot and it bounces off an invuln.
Yes, we have angered the machine spirit. We dropped a camera on our monitor cable, so now we have 1 monitor, but it's a good angle. Thank you, everyone.
Perfect.
Yeah, love the Castellan. Love that they didn't make it broken while also making it useful.
Yeah, it also doesn't fit the theme of the rest of the book with bondsman oaths, and I think...
And that's both of the dominants.
That will sink the Valiant when we get to it. But the Castellan still has a niche. Yeah. The Valiant... really don't.
Yeah. Well, we're on to my absolute favorite tank in the Imperium. It's the Cerastus Knight Castigator.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cassie.
All right. So the Cerastus Knight Castigator is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because it has a Castigator bolt cannon.
Still can't take any relics or benefit from like half the strats in the book.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's still a Cerastus Knight and comes with the problems inherent of that. I think that the points are actually up to date, so I'm pretty sure that the Cerastus Knight Castigator costs still 460, which is a little bit pricey.
I believe that's correct. Yeah, 460. Mm-hmm. But it does benefit from the competitive edge.
Yeah,
I'll look up what
we've referenced it a couple of times. One of the custom knight things, which therefore could be put on a free blade, is every time you make a melee attack that is not with a sweep or smash profile,
which makes no sense. I ranted about this for like a solid couple minutes with Siegs.
Yeah.
But it makes no sense. It's clearly supposed to be with like the strike profile.
Yeah, because the first rider is sweep or strike and the second is sweep or smash.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So I think they're both supposed to be sweep or strike.
I think it's supposed to be when you're... Because it says they're noble duelists, which the only weapon you're allowed to do this with is feet.
Yeah.
So I think what it's supposed to be is if you're not using the sweep profile, you get its competitive edge from Dark Elf.
Because what is the name of the sweep? Yeah, I think it is just all the sweep profiles you're not supposed to use it on.
Yeah.
But everything else you get competitive
edge. But it clearly says you can't use it on strike. So until they FAQ it, it just doesn't work. And I'm trying to be as loud as possible so GW notices.
Please. But because the Cerastus Knight Castigator does not have a sweep profile, it has a melee profile, it's 8 attacks with the Tempest Warblade at strength 14, AP 3, damage 3. Those all get competitive edge if it is a free blade with this, or a custom knight with this tradition. That is really cool. It is still a Cerastus Knight with all the weaknesses, and its bolt cannon is, unfortunately, it is better than the bolt cannon in the book, which is good because that thing's not that good. But it's just 16 shots, AP 2, damage 2 at strength 6. So it's better than the bolt cannon, but it doesn't have all the ancillary guns like stubbers and top missiles.
Eldar wouldn't love to be chased down by that thing.
No, this thing is really cool, and I love the competitive edge on its giant sword.
I think in a free blade lance, you could consider taking a Castigator and giving it competitive edge and just being like, Cool.
I think the
That's
reality
noble
is,
combatants martial tradition.
Yeah,
The problem is it's Questor Imperialis, so if you give it that, it can't be Mechanicus.
True, yeah. So if you were custom, it would be that. You could do a free blade one, but then that model would be Imperialis.
Yeah.
You could have some other ones.
Yeah.
This isn't the one yet you would talk to.
You would almost certainly give this one noble combatants.
Yeah.
For
100% would, yeah.
I think it's actually imperfectly balanced.
I don't think it's better than the Atropos.
Free blade.
I don't think it's better than the Atropos.
I think it is.
5-up invuln, the
It
Atropos
has a
shoots
thing
better.
that it does.
Yeah, but so does the Atropos also gets to do its.
I don't know if it shoots better than the Atropos. It shoots differently.
It shoots different. But I like that the Atropos also has an alternative weapon that's not it's not a sweep attack, it's a laser cut or some crap.
Yeah, but you're not going to give that thing noble combatants. It's much worse.
Focus.
It has a sweep.
So it does have a sweep, so you'd only be able to use the focus attack.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay, I mean, I can put it above. I think it's still a flawed choice. I don't think it's perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
You have to be a very specific tradition to even think about taking this.
It has a role. I think in a free blade lance, I think you could consider taking it.
Yeah.
Give it noble combatants. That cannon, the Castigator bolt cannon, is really good with real ones to hit and wound. If it's more than 12 away.
Oh yeah, that's fair. It's a lot of shots, but like every knight likes that.
With more shots, I definitely like it more on this guy.
True. Yeah, it's not bad.
Just dumping shots into people, and then competitive edge in combat means you just scoop.
All right.
I'm okay with it there.
Yeah, I think top
but
of
it is an
flawed
interesting choice.
All right.
460 though, compared to Canis Rex.
Exactly. Canis just Rex. All right, so let's move on over here to the Crusader.
So
the Crusader is an interesting one because its melee got significantly worse as a side effect of Titanic Feet getting nerfed into the dirt. Titanic Feet got stepped on, but it still shoots just as well as before.
Yes,
slightly better because its alternate gun, either the Melta or the battle cannon, is better. Either way, you got it.
They are. You can take a battle. Yeah, you can take a battle cannon. You can take. Actually, hold on. Yeah. Battle cannon, thermal cannon, or
the top rockets.
Yeah.
I think it's just a battle cannon, a thermal cannon, and it has the Gatling always.
Yes, always has the Gatling, and you can replace the thermal with the battle, which is kind of unfortunate. I kind of wanted both.
Yeah, I know. You kind of want to. Honestly, the Gatling's the one I want to leave at home.
Now
it is.
Yeah. Now it is.
But you're keeping the Gatling. But it's still like a good way to shots. I like that you can just make it a pure shooting knight. I would honestly bite that relic missile launcher, the one that's D3 plus 3 damage, ignore line of sight.
Yeah.
The thing slaps.
The Crusader, especially in free blade lance with real ones, carves through people.
It does. It does shoot hard, and its command phase buff is +1 ballistic skill, right?
+1 ballistic skill to an Armiger class, and then you can make that 2 if you give it an upgrade, which you probably
You're
won't.
going to every. No, I don't think you take a big knight without an upgrade ever.
Okay.
You just pick 2 Armigers, their ballistic skill 2, then you give them real ones to hit like super easily. It's like, no, this is just happening.
Yeah.
So
okay, I could see that.
I think every big knight is going to get an upgrade of some kind. You're going to pick the best one, but they're always going to have it.
Also, Master of Vox is super cheap, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's
it's 20 points, and you get CP regen.
Yeah,
If nothing else, that guy has Master of Vox.
All right, so for me, I think that the Crusader is actually... I actually think that it goes to perfectly balanced. I
would rather have it over Castellan. Castellan's super expensive.
That is true. You think strong choice?
I think I could go... I could see strong choice.
It's not a tournament staple. I don't actually think I want one, but it is cool. It has a relevant buff. It is a little bit expensive.
Knight Crusader?
Yeah.
Yeah, 485. If you take the Storm Spear, it's 525.
It's a little pricey.
It is a little pricey.
Like, it's 525 for that, and like, how much more is a Castellan?
Like another 100 on top of that. I think exactly another 100.
Is it really 625?
No, it's 610.
610. Okay.
610. I all right, move it back down to perfectly balanced. I think it's fine. It shoots hard.
It shoots hard.
I wish it could take the Meltagun. Oh, it doesn't. It can't take the Meltagun, the battle cannon. For some reason in my head, even though I just said it can't.
Yeah, it cannot.
In my head, I was like, it can.
No, it can't.
Yeah, perfectly balanced.
Yeah. All right. Errant. Errant's definitely better than the Crusader to me.
Errant good. Errant has advance and charge. Errant good.
Errant gives advance and charge to an Armiger.
Armigers, and gives +1 to advance and charge rolls for that Armiger.
Yep.
Yeah, so, that guy is almost certainly in tournament staple.
I think so. The Errant is boss mode.
That guy is missling multiple Armigers a turn into your opponent.
Yep.
or just getting them around the board. Like if you're in House Raven, right, you're advancing them super far around the board and just shooting, and then charging onto objectives.
Yep. And let's just go ahead and say it. If you buy one of the options, not only do you get to do your command phase order second time, one of them, I believe it's Mechanicus, is you can order knights instead of armigers. Princeps, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're the Princeps in an Errant, you can tell a knight to advance and charge.
And the Errant is significantly cheaper than the Crusader.
It is, and I would trade advance and charge armigers and good combat for the Gatling gun.
Yeah, 60 points cheaper.
So 60 points to replace advance and charge and the chainsword with a Gatling gun. Never paying the 60 points.
Yeah. And the chainsword actually matters because the Errant will mess you up in combat.
It will. And like you can even order itself to advance and charge, I think. Or maybe it can only order other charges.
One friendly within...
I think one friend...
I think it has to be another one in range. I will double check. There's a lot of rules to check.
Really like the Princeps on this one.
Yeah.
Or you can tell multiple armigers to advance and charge. And let's remember that full tilt is 1 CP to flat advance 6.
Yeah, excluding itself.
Okay, so not itself. But still, so this and a CP makes a Gallant go an auto 18.
Yep.
And then charge a +1.
No, sorry. Because this is rolls, I believe. Yeah, rolls. So 18 and then charge at +1, yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's really good.
And I think Mechanicus is the way, so that all big knights have 2 extra wounds, little knights have 1, and then, Gallants hit really hard. This guy also hits really hard. And honestly, I don't even know if you... Yeah, Thermal Gun is super good now. I don't know if you take a Gallant, to be real with you, because you just take the oath of everyone gets +1 to hit.
Yeah, that's my plan. Boom! Dunk. I like the Errant a lot. I'm with you, tournament staples. I think the Errant's really good.
I think the Errant looks dope too, which is amazing.
Also, it's a classic knight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could just go Forge Master, so turn 1, your opponent can't kill it, and then you're just like go.
Yeah.
Just so that it protects your investment for the turn. If your opponent goes first and has guns that you're scared
and
of.
you can keep it in your deployment zone for turn 1, anyways.
Yeah.
Like you're fast enough.
Yeah.
And you're also. Turn 2, you'll order a knight that's a little bit in front of you to advance and charge, and then it'll walk up in the cover of you're getting charged by like 4 knights this turn.
Also, if you send an Armiger up, 1 CP makes it advance 9.
9, yeah. The full tilt is 6-inch advance on a normal knight, 9-inch advance on an Armiger.
Yep. So they move 12.
So 21
and charge at +1.
Yeah. Easy does it.
Yeah. That sounds real good, and that's not even getting into all the upgrades you can get, the traditions and nonsense.
All right, let's hit that Gallant. We just talked about them. Gallants are still good. They kept 12-inch move where other knights went down 2 inches. Their weapon skill 2, still ballistic skill 3, their +1 attack. So they hit very significantly harder than a normal knight with +2 move, +1 to hit, and +1 attack. Which
the main problem is the +1 to hit is going to be canceled out by, I think, the second most common value you're going to see.
Yeah.
So it's on the first turn of combat, if you charged, were charged, or performed a heroic, add 1 to your hit roll.
Yep.
So that seems pretty good. Now, the honored ability of Laylo the Tyrants is reroll a hit or a wound, which if you're already hitting on 2s is nice, but I think just hitting on 2s in combat is better.
You reroll advance.
That's the virtuous ability. The honored ability of Laylo the Tyrants.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think you're probably taking Defend the Realm, Refuse No Challenge, which is the +1 to hit, and extra CP and nonsense.
Yep.
So I think you're not really going to be taking a Gallant because all your other knights are going to be hitting on 2s anyway.
I still like a Gallant because isn't it, how many points is it? It's like not expensive.
I don't think it's that. I don't love losing a gun because the options of which combat weapon you take is not super worth it for me. Yeah. The Gallant is clean 400. So you can get an Errant for 25 more points.
Yeah.
You can get a Paladin for 25 more points. You can get a Preceptor for 20.
Yeah. And the Gallant's buff is +1 to hit in combat for
an Armiger.
Yeah. That's fine, but I don't think it's as impactful.
Again, they're all probably going to be hitting at +1 anyway.
Do you think the Gallant goes in strong or balanced?
I think it could even be a flawed choice.
Oh, no, I'm not going that. It's 400.
I think it has the flaw of the thing it does is not necessary with one of the best vows. It gives +1 to hit. Dope, I already have it. Yeah. It hits on 2s. All my other knights hit on 2s. Why do I have you? It doesn't have a gun.
Yeah.
It has a stubber. You can purchase it a top gun, and then it's 440.
I think I would go the bottom of perfectly balanced. I still think because it is cheaper and gets relics.
You can run people down with it.
You can run people down with it.
It does move faster,
also,
which is dope.
Yeah.
But I do think that's a serious problem of it has +1 to hit. Its biggest thing is it's +1 to hit and it gives out +1 to hit.
Yeah.
If you take the vow, boom, you have that army wide. Done. Don't need it.
Yeah. So, but because you bake it into your army list, you have to make that choice at the same time. So there is a universe where you're not taking that because you're building something to capitalize on. Because you're going to take the whole objectives, get extra CP every time.
Yeah.
And there's a very real universe where you then take a different one, and in that, like, because you want Canis Rex, you want that auto 6. At that point, a Gallant's not bad.
At that point, a Gallant does get better.
Yeah.
I still don't love giving up a gun.
I agree.
In my opinion, Knights are a shooting army.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's. I do think perfectly balanced is where it should be.
But I think the bottom's fine, though.
Yeah, I think bottom's fine.
But let's talk about Helverins. You know that will not be the bottom of perfectly balanced.
No,
I love them.
They shoot.
I love the Armiger Helverin.
They got way more reliable, and they got an extra point of AP, and they stayed the same cost.
Yep, that's it. And yeah, just all the buffs that you can layer on them combined with extra AP is really good.
All the buffs in auras.
I love the Bastard's Helm. Can I just talk about that?
Is that you pick one and it...
and the Bearer. And you both get +1 wound and shooting.
Oof.
Like... Just
two of these?
2 Armigers in the back, just hanging around, just guys being guys, pals being pals.
+1 to hit.
+1 to hit wound with their...
+1 to hit and +1 to wound. Oh, you can't do both.
You can't do
both.
But still...
But you can do +1 to hit, and there's +1 to wound, and you can do exploding 6s to hit.
Yes, you can.
And, yeah, that's going to rock some people.
It's going to rock some socks off. I think Helverins are tournament staples.
You can also get reroll a hit and a wound in shooting.
Yes.
Pretty easily. Mm-hmm. So that feels very nice. Yeah, Helverins shoot hard. They move 12, and you're just going to find angles, you're going to get angles, and you're going to shoot people.
Yeah. I think that 3 big knights, 4 baby knights is still a very reasonable thing to have, or you go 2 and then like 7.
Yeah, I think 2 and 7 is going to be pretty disgusting.
It's going to be pretty strong.
Yeah.
But I think 3 big knights still works.
Do we have the Morax in here?
We do. Right there.
Oh, okay. Just it deceived me because it looked the same size.
Yeah, because all the other Armigers were a set of 2 and it's a set of 1 because it's Fordrel. That's the picture. Yeah, Helverins, love them. However,
the Lancer?
Moving to the Lancer. This one I think is going to be pretty quick.
This one's cheap.
It's not that expensive. It doesn't shoot much. It is really
440, which is not as cheap as I want it to be.
It is a really dope knight. It moves 14. This is significantly faster than other knights.
Yep, you can make it move 20.
It's also 5 attacks, but still only weapon skill 3. But it still does like the +1 to hit.
You can't make it advance and charge with an Errant. No. With a Princeps Errant.
Because he only affects Questors.
He only affects Questors.
That's fine. Still, what I like about it is that it's not really the shooting, it's the combat, and the fact that it does benefit from the competitive edge because there's a charge profile.
Yep, and standard. So
it's just
you're not going to do the standard.
Charge is when you make a charge move.
Yeah.
So it's strength 16, AP 4, damage 8. Really good profiles. It has a 5-up invuln save and a 4-up invuln in combat.
Ooh.
4-up invuln in combat and
-1 to hit from Titanic.
Which is fine.
That's super cute.
It's cute. The big thing though is that it is a very fast knight with a 4-up invuln in combat that just goes.
It goes hard.
Yeah, just all it does.
Again,
just
you could
go find big
it.
targets and whack.
You could go Freeblade and go competitive edge and absolutely eviscerate big targets.
Yeah. I think that this is the best of the Cerastus because it's still in the same ballpark points cost as the other knights.
Yeah. I
still don't think it's going to make the cutoff, and because unfortunately it takes the same points, or it takes the same role as a big knight without providing any of the buffs to the rest of your army.
It's the same thing as a Gallant. It doesn't have any guns.
Yeah, it has. I mean, 6 shots.
Technically it does.
It has 6 shots at strength 6, AP 1, damage 3, D3.
Sure.
You're piddling shots at people while you charge them. That's it.
Yeah.
I would say
it's not horrible.
No, it still doesn't get relics. I think it's top of flaw choice.
Yeah,
maybe
I could see that.
It's probably not better than a Gallant, but it is not bad.
I think the Castigator in it are in the same category of if you're running a Freeblade Lance, they are an interesting tech pick.
Yeah, that's where you're at.
Yeah.
Not even mandatory, just an interesting tech pick.
All right.
In a specific
the Cerastus.
Oh, this is the Magaera.
That's the Magaera?
This is the Magaera.
I thought that was the non-Magaera.
No,
the Styrix is over there, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Magaera. So the Magaera hasn't gotten any worse, and it was the best knight.
It did go up by 20 points.
It went up 20 points. Yeah, but it didn't get any worse in the Codex.
Yeah.
It is Cerastus, which means it gets all of the good things.
It's Questors, right? You mean?
Right. It's the one that I want it to be, which is Questors.
Yeah.
The Questors Knight Magaera. So it can buy the points upgrades.
It can.
It can benefit from stuff.
It can.
Honestly, even a Magaera with -1 damage.
You don't have to sell me hard on that.
Is like a real thing.
It's still the hardest hitting knight in shooting for its cost. Like the Castellan hits harder, but it's also significantly more expensive.
Yeah.
So if you just want an efficient gun platform, well, the Magaera is there for you. Now it is 500 points now, which is expensive.
Yeah, but it has a good gun. It has good combat still. Its combat is now like kind of on par with the chainsword. A chainsword is it's 12 attacks at AP 3 damage 2. This is 12 attacks at AP 2 damage 3.
Yeah, which I would rather have.
I think I'd rather have that. The Armor of Renown part of that is interesting. It's not great in Armor of Renown because it's a lot of AP 2.
Armor
Contempt, sorry.
Yeah.
But it ignores cover. It has the Rad Cleanser. It still hits hard. It has that 5-up invuln in combat. And it's Questora, so you can buy all of the buffs that you want it to.
It shoots hard.
I actually really like one of these with the relic. You know what it is. That relic engine that gives it +1 to wound.
Oh yeah.
Taking that lightning cannon and +1 to wound, taking away the strength 7 problem, is like huge.
The Heart of Ion.
Yeah.
So Questor Mechanicus, that's what you want. You take a mortal wound, which you will heal off the following turn.
Yep.
Add 1 to the move characteristic, 1 to advance and charge rolls, and then when you make an attack with a selected weapon, add 1 to the wound roll.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
That's real good.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit.
It doesn't buff people, but if you're trying to take just a bruiser knight, I love it. It may not fit points-wise because the other Questoris classes are there, and this one doesn't buff its friends. But I think this is still a strong choice.
Yeah, and the Rad Cleanser is really good into NIDS.
It is very good into NIDS.
It's very good into NIDS, and it's still good into Marines, weirdly enough.
Yep.
Because it's AP 0, so cool.
Yeah, it ignores cover.
Ignores cover, AP 0, and then every failed save is just dead guy.
Yep.
And that is shockingly effective at killing people. Here's 7 saves. Have fun with that. And then they're like, I failed 2 of them, 3 of them on 3-up. It's like, all right, that's 3 Eradicators gone. And then Lightning Cannon.
I think that the Magaera could find its way into a 3-knight 4 Armiger list.
Yeah, the 2-knight 6/7 Armiger list, not
as chance. Because 2 big knights can command phase buff 4 Armigers if they all have points upgrades. And just be like, okay, we've already given out our maximum of bondsman abilities. This 3rd big knight isn't really going to need to give out bondsman abilities anyway. The Magaera doesn't give out bondsman abilities because it doesn't have them.
Yes.
So for a 3rd, if you're thinking one knight that it doesn't have a bondsman ability because you already have enough to give out to everyone, at that point, Magaera kind of good.
Magaera good. I think the Magaera is just good as a stats brick.
Yep.
To your opponent's
face. So strong choice, not top tier, not mandatory, but you could totally still take it. Also, it helps that I have Magaera's painted and I don't have Crusaders painted.
Yet.
There's time.
That's an Errant, but yeah.
Well, whatever the case would be.
Yeah.
All right,
more. We're gonna have to start remembering the names.
Yeah, we are. More X time. More X's are good because they just are Armigers.
They are Armigers. They benefit the same as Armigers.
Yep.
They have good guns.
They have all the right keywords. They do not need an FAQ, and they just have guns.
I think they're just a better Helverin, honestly.
Are they better, you think? The Helverin being the range that it is kind of nice.
True. That is true.
Because the lightning lock...
I would like it if Helverins were better. They are more iconic, and you never see them. You used to see them a bit in in 8th, but...
I mean, there's the universe where you take the lightning lock Morax with the Bastard's Helm and they're just +1 to wound.
I think you need... You could take that for sure. Triple exploding 6s.
And +1 to wound on 2 lightning locks is just like...
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Because you are taking a Preceptor, and so the Preceptor is just going to be, I'm an aura of exploding 6s to hit. And you're like, every 6 is 4 hits.
Yeah, so the Conversion Beamer I don't really like because it doesn't synchronize with anything.
Don't like
the Lightning Lock, good. Graviton Pulsar is not bad, but D6 shots hurts a little bit.
It's good in the thing where you count your opponent as being double for purpose of blast.
That, or... Actually, that's kind of true. That or the fact that the Graviton Pulsar, you can if you just +1 to wounded, it'll actually wound vehicles pretty decently, and then it's strength 6, AP 3 damage 3, and 3-up save.
Think about this: if you're taking a free blade lance, right?
Sure.
You take 3 of them with the grav pulsars.
Yep.
You take them with unremitting, which is you count your opponent's double for blast, and then you give 1 the Bastard's Helm.
Yeah.
That hurts.
That really adds up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
That's
2.
Not bad.
Honestly, 2 of those in a free blade lance hurts real bad.
Yeah.
Because they count your opponent's double. So if they are 3 models, then guess what? Min 3 on my shots, so average of 4. If there's 6 models, 12 shots.
Yeah. You're still going to stick to guns because the Siege Claw is kind of bad in combat because it's -1 to hit.
Yeah, don't
and
love
weapon
that.
skill 3. You can get +1 to hit, but I don't...
Yeah. They do have... Yeah, they have a lot of shots that explode 6 to hit.
Hold on, just doing a quick look at a data sheet here. Is it noble households? Yeah, okay, so people are pointing out that, in fact, all of the Forge World Knights are household, where all of the books are noble household. So I think that's one that we're just going to assume the FAQ on. We're gonna pretend that household and noble household are the same thing, because at some point they will be. We don't know if they'll do stat changes in an FAQ.
Probably
but we know that they're going to make your toys legal.
Yes.
So let's just assume that household and noble household are the same thing.
That I would be shocked if they didn't do.
Yeah.
Fixing keywords like Restore's class, especially in Chaos Knights, I don't think that's going to happen.
But the Morax is already Armiger class, so we already know that they're Armigers. Yeah. It's not like a Cerastus Knight, which doesn't benefit from Questoris Knight. That's probably not going to get FAQ'd.
Yeah.
But let's just assume this works.
Yeah. Morax, I think that combo... You take 2 with the Bastard's Helm, you take 3 with the count as double models for blast, and you just have exploding 6 to hit in a million shots.
So it's definitely a strong choice at a minimum. Do you think it makes it up to tournament staples?
I think so. I think it's just a direct competitor with the Helvern.
Okay.
I think if the Helvern's up, I think it's wherever the Helvern is.
I like the Helvern better, I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
Because the long range is really nice, and especially with the Bastard's Helm, you're not going to have -1 damage up, so I really like that more on long range knights than short range knights. Short range armigers with the grav that get within 24 inches.
Oh, the grav is 24.
And then aren't -1 damage.
No,
those die.
Fair enough. The grav is 24. I think that moves it down to strong choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then lightning locks, 36 is better, but still the same problem. If you're trying to do the Bastard Helm, it's not quite
lightning locks do slap. Yeah. With -1 with
absolutely
extra exploding 6s and +1 to wound.
Yeah. Real quick, we've got a question from Mark. Thanks so much for that $5 super chat. You are a hero. Hey guys, is there any chance Knights and Scions might be a decent Imperial soup?
What do you lose?
I think adding a unit of 3 Armigers or a Questoris Knight to a Scion or Guard army is a fantastic choice, and I would recommend it. I don't think that you would try to add Scions to a Knight army for the sake of having Scions. You would do it because you love them. But realistically, the Knight Codex has, I think, its weaknesses covered by the changes to secondaries to the point that you don't need to add a Scion Patrol just for the sake of it. But if you're running a Scion army, I would 100% add a Free Blade to it every time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I don't even care which Free Blade you take. Like, you could take a Free Blade Castellan and call it a day. You could take a Free Blade, like a unit of 3 Armigers, call it a day. I am really okay with almost any option here.
Yeah. I do think, I actually, looking back through some of this, I don't think Free Blades break anything. I think I was just, I was on something.
Yeah, I believe that's right. Do all the relics also have like Questoris limits? Yeah, they do. God,
yes, they do. Select a weapon, Armiger Questoris. Yeah, I mean, they clearly were just not counting for this.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm not. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So next up we have the Paladin. Love the Paladin. So it's got the boosted battle cannon.
This one works. Headsman's Mark works.
Oh, so Headsman's Mark can go on Cerastus Knights.
That's so can Volker's one.
Some of these. Okay, so some of the house specific ones work on Cerastus. So so maybe we'll revisit that at some point in the future.
Yeah, I do think House Raven's real stacked, but that's not the point of this video.
Okay.
The Paladin.
So it gives reroll 1s to hit and wound with its buff.
Yeah, which is such a good buff.
Yeah.
You give that to 2 shooting armigers. Like, honestly, you don't even need the bastards. I might much rather reroll 1s to hit and wound.
Yeah, it's more about what you're willing to allocate.
Yeah.
Because obviously the bastard helm is just a relic.
Porque no los dos. Like,
true.
2 guys +1 wound, 2 guys reroll 1s to hit and wound, and you just...
I also like the idea that someone has to hold the backfield. And I like Armigers for that, because the big knights might be going forward at a certain point.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be out of range.
It is 12 inches for picking targets for this.
That is true. That is really nice.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of options. So I like the Paladin a lot. It has a really good buff. It has a better gun.
Is about as good as the Errants.
Yeah. It's. I think it's better for shooting than combat, but it can be used in both, I think. Right?
And every time it makes an attack roll, hit and wound roll 1. Mm-hmm. The Paladin is the same points cost as an Errant. Its buff is about as good.
Yeah.
Its gun is about as good.
I think it's a direct equivalent.
I think it is literally exactly as powerful as an Errant.
Yeah, just depending on what kind of list you're trying to build, that'll tell you what you want.
Isn't it so cool that you can take an Errant and a Paladin and like they're good choices?
Oh yeah, I love this Knight book just from the perspective of like they're making Knights feel right.
Yeah.
Like the last book was like, just take a Castellan and Crusaders and everything else is garbage. Like you never take the middle of the road Knights.
Yeah.
Middle of the road Knights are actually good now.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not just Magaera spam. Now it's like Paladin.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to play a list with 4 Armigers, a Paladin, an Errant, and a Preceptor. Canis Rex.
No, yeah, Canis Rex and an Errant and a Preceptor and like 4 Knights. Armigers would be amazing for Blade Lance.
Paladin, but yeah.
Paladin, Errant, Canis Rex.
Yeah, that'd be so
4
good.
Armigers, like 2 Halverins, 2 Warglaives, you're just literally just doing everything.
All right, well, I look forward
that
to
honestly may be what I'm playing tomorrow since I'm playing Knights on YouTube tomorrow.
Hey, pretty here, hey.
All right.
Nerd.
All right, so
Porphyrion?
The Porphyrion is next. This
How did
is
I know that
going
name?
right next to the Asterius.
Same reasons the Asterius is bad. It's also, I think it's even more, actually.
It is more points, 780, but it is a better gun, kind of.
Sure. It would have to crack the planet open every time it's shot to be worth 780.
So its twin Magna las cannons are also 2d3 shots, and it has 2 of them. So it's the same number of shots. It's strength 12 AP, 3 damage, 6.
At least you don't have to be 48 inches away.
Exactly. It's just 2 worse strength.
That was 16 on the other one.
Maybe it's 14 or 16.
I think it's 16.
So it's a little lower strength, but the AP does not correspond to how far away
It just means when you're wounding vehicles, you're wounding on 3s, which I really don't want to do with my 780 point model.
And also, for no reason at all, it just has 2 autocannons on top.
You know what? For offending me, I think it should be less than the other one.
Why is it offensive?
Because it's 30 more points.
Look, this is once you spend the first 750, you don't even notice the 30 more.
I do.
It's like how GW doesn't notice like when they lose $20, right? But like you or I would notice once you've bought an Acheron Knight, it doesn't matter which one you're taking.
Sure,
they're both pretty bad.
Fine, they're both trash.
Yeah, sad. All right, the Knight Styrix, we're skipping. We're done with the Acheron Knights. I'm sorry. Go paint them because they're beautiful.
They do look dope. They are so bad. The fact you can almost buy 2 Quaestorus class Knights for the same points cost.
Yeah, I would rather have 2 Gallants.
Yup.
Okay. So the Styrix is dope.
Yeah. It's almost as good as a
Magaera, and for all the same reasons.
Its main gun is just worse.
A little worse.
That's all it is.
I think it costs like 5 points more.
It's
5 less. It might be 25 less.
It's 25 less.
Actually,
okay, let's look at the gun. Let's look at the gun.
Literally, the gun. Its guns are the difference. So it comes with the Graviton Crusher instead of the plasma,
which is super close.
It's a little bit worse.
Because it's not Rapid Fire 2.
Yeah, but the
no, it's not Rapid. Is it Rapid Fire 2?
It's Rapid Fire 2.
Rapid Fire 2. Okay.
So it's D3 shots instead of Rapid Fire 2. But the Volkite Chiraville, Chiraville, whatever. Heavy 5, strength 8 AP, 3 damage, D6. Unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 2 mortal wounds in addition. So that's kind of better with Army of Renown around, but it's a lot less shots. Armor of Contempt. Thank you. I just cannot.
I know. It also ignores cover.
Yeah, D6 damage. It's actually that's not bad. Strength 8's a nice break point.
I think I'd rather have Exploding 6s and 8 shots over that.
I would. Heavy 5 is.
But 25 points. Yeah, I think it's roughly analogous. Probably a little worse.
It's a little worse.
So I would.
You think it's strong, or is it just like the top of balance?
I think it's imperfectly balanced.
Yeah, I think it's better than a Crusader.
I just can't get excited about it versus a Crusader. Like, is it better? Maybe, but I just am not excited.
That's fair. All right.
I think the answer is maybe, by the way.
Yeah. Sad Days.
Yeah.
Valiant. I really thought that the Valiant was going to be a winner here.
Yeah, it is super not.
No, I think its gun, the harpoon went up 6 inches, which makes it a lot more likely to harpoon someone. The flamer's the same. I think that the relic flamer somehow got worse.
The harpoon, I think, is strength 16 instead of like strength 14 or something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I don't.
Sure. I think it was like AP 3 before.
If it could ignore invulns on an 18-inch gun, that would make me like it. Not take it, but that would make me like it.
Yeah, it doesn't though.
It doesn't do a single darn.
Have fun that damage 10 bouncing off of a 4-up invuln.
I don't think it's an FAQ meme.
Because I will reroll that, by the way.
But I think this is an extremely flawed choice.
I think it's a bomb of flawed choice.
The Valiant makes me so sad.
I think it might even end up in FAQ me. It doesn't do a single thing, and it costs the same as a Castellan.
It's like 10 points cheaper?
Sorry, 10 points cheaper than Castellan.
Okay, yeah, I know it's not a good argument. But
yeah, the Conflagration Cannon, by the way, its relic got worse.
Because it no longer rolls wounds. What does it do now?
Now I think it's just
What is?
I don't even know what it does because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, well, let's find out what this relic does before.
Trader's Pyre. It takes it from 3d6 strength 7 AP2 damage 2 to 3d6 damage strength 8 damage 2 damage AP2 damage 2.
All right. AP strength 8 is a very significant breakpoint.
So there is some text on it. On a wound roll of 6, you can't take invulns against this AP2 weapon. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Also,
that demon book it's never gonna know what hit it.
Sure. That's only on 6s. So you may not roll any of them. B, you're gonna roll like 1 or 2.
I wish they had gone strength at AP 3.
It does not matter. Yeah, so you're basically paying a CP for plus 1 strength. So you don't do that. And the Valiant is garbage without it. I mean, it's garbage with it.
Yeah.
Without having the reroll wounds one.
Valiant is unfortunately the worst Codex Knight, I think.
I do think it goes to
and it's still my favorite. No, I don't think it needs a FAQ. Because it's just bad by being bad. It's not like it needs an FAQ.
No, but that's our bad tier.
It is pretty bad, yeah. I'm leaving it ahead. It's not as bad as the Asterius.
Fine.
Is it? It is not
more expensive.
It is what? An Asterius is 780 points.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the other.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as an Asterius, but it's still 600.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Wardens.
Yeah. Oh. The other bad knight is 480. This thing is 600. And it's about the same damage output.
No, this is way more damage output. 3d6 dots instead of 2d6, and then you add on the harpoon, the siege breakers, and 4 meltaguns.
Yeah, but no combat.
The combat was negligible on this thing.
Sure.
Remember, because that was the worst combat profile. It's worse than a chainsword.
Yeah.
It was AP 2 damage.
D3. I'm happy leaving it in flawed choice. What are we even arguing about here? This thing's garbage.
It's pretty bad. All right.
The Warden.
The Warden. I think the Warden gives them does it give Armigers count as extra models or something?
Yeah, the Armiger counts as 10.
That's adorable, but I think Obset count as 5 with a knight right next to you means that you already have enough models on this objective.
Yeah.
Because the knight counts as 10, then the Armiger's thirsty count as 15.
Eventually they count as 8 too if you're taking that defend the realm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think its buff is pretty bad.
Its gun is pretty bad.
Its gun is the worst of the gun options.
I still think it's paying for being the best knight before, one of the best single gun knights before.
Yeah.
And it is more expensive. Yeah, it's 435. Yeah, I think it's going to perfectly balanced.
I think it's at the bottom. I think it's worse than a Gallant.
I don't know about that. It has a gun.
I get it, but the thing is that by roll, a Gallant is...
I think you need to scroll up a little.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. The Gallant has a roll because it is a combat monster, but the Warden is a third gun/combat knight, and of those, it is the worst buff and the worst gun. So it will literally never be taken by competition, where the Gallant has unique rolls.
That's fair.
It is a melee bruiser.
That's fair. The Warden is not the worst thing in the world, but you're not going to see it.
It just, the competition for it is brutal.
All right, Warglaives. Last choice here, they did not get significantly better.
They got better AP in combat.
They got more reliable. Quality of life, they're 2 shots instead of D3, which when you need it, D3 is 1.
I think they used to move 14 and now move 12.
That's true. But they got a large amount of
support
buffs. And the Errant means that you kind of want melee armigers.
Yeah. I don't know how all this is fitting in tournament staples, but I really think that they're...
I think this one goes to strong choice, honestly.
Just to top a strong choice?
I think top is strong choice.
It's... Advancing in charge ability on these is so huge.
I think advance in charge, I think you take them as Princeps, and I think you take 1 Armiger and you go OBSEC 5 models, go.
Yeah.
And you just take a shooting knight, a shooting Armiger, and you just slam them on an objective, and you say, yeah, that objective's mine. And then you grab a Questor's class and jam them in as well.
Advance and shoot?
The Helverin? No, it is heavy.
I wonder,
that is
any of the Morax's assault? No, only the Rad Cleanser. So no.
That's kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Whereas I believe
if you're a Raven,
the Warglaive is also heavy on the Thermal Spear.
Oh, it used to be assault.
Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad.
So in Raven, I like that a lot.
I really like Raven.
Yeah.
Knights are a shooting army in my book, and I think in Raven, everything just... Including rapid fire, by the way, which it didn't do last time.
Oh, that is a nice upgrade.
Yeah, it's just you count as...
Good, I always forgot, tried to shoot my little plasma gun.
I think Raven is a real frontrunner. A real frontrunner.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I do think Warglaives are decent because you want to... I mean, they basically got +1 to hit if you take that vow, so they hit on 2s.
Yep.
They're -1 damage. If you're jamming them into your opponent's objectives, you can give them a 4-up invul, -1 damage.
Super solid all around.
5-up feel no pain if you're close to the Preceptor. It's...
Oh, God, I love the Preceptor.
Yeah, the Preceptor's dope. So I think you could see like 1 to 2 Warglaives in addition to the 1 to 2 shooting. Well, you're taking at least 2 shooting archers.
I think you want 2 shooting archers, 2 Warglaives, and 3 big knights, or you go 2 big knights and then a couple extra, probably like more axe or halberds.
You could also take the upgrade on the paladin if you're in this list for your bondsman abilities count even if they already have one.
Yeah.
And then you're advancing and charging with a guy that rerolls 1s to hit and wound and has +1 to hit.
Yeah, that's really
And that
solid.
would hit really, really hard. And then there's a variety of ways to give armigers bonus attacks.
Yeah, there is. Slamming 2 in because you can have 2 guys advance and charge.
With reroll 1s to hit wound, and then plus attacks and plus attacks and...
Yep, because they both charge the same thing. They spend the CP and it's 10 attacks each. So yeah, 2 armigers go in, 20 attacks, like 19 hits because your 2s are rolling 1s.
Exploding 6s to hit if you're next to the...
If you're next to the Preceptor. Oh, that's so good.
Yep.
That's going to hurt.
That's going to hurt a lot more than you think it would looking at this profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think tournament staple.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You're going to take them.
You're going to take them.
So somehow we have more knights and tournament staples than you could fit in a tournament list. But there's just a lot of really cool options.
I think you're looking at a tournament list here. You're looking at either Canis Rex or Preceptor.
These
then
2 big knights.
the 2 big knights, and then like
4 armigers.
4 armigers, and like 2 of each.
And I think that'll fit pretty safely. And you'll probably still have some points for upgrades.
Should.
Because you used to be able to do triple
Canis Rex actually in that one.
Yeah, you used to be able to do triple Magaera, and that was 480 each, and all of these knights were like the 420-ish, 440. And that should be enough points to basically buy a point upgrade on each knight, get it in that 480 range, and then you can fit in 4 armigers with it.
Yeah, I think it's like an 1800 or like a 1900 point list before
upgrades. So you should be able to afford 3 knights worth of upgrades in there.
Yeah.
You may not be able to get the 3 best ones, or Canis Rex doesn't need one.
Canis Rex
So
doesn't need one.
440 for Canis Rex.
Or 420.
And then you've got like 100 points of free things there.
420 for a Preceptor is absurd.
I honestly think that at that point you'd be able to, I wonder, could you? You're like kind of close to a 5th Armiger if you don't go heavy on the points upgrades. But I think you're going to, and then you'll just like...
I mean, 20 points for Master of Vox, and getting relaying abilities, which is whatever, but the 5-up CP regen and an extra one every turn.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
All right, lots of things to talk about here. We're gonna have a lot of night content coming up, but for now, I think we're ready to call this one done.
You have a game in 40 minutes.
Yep.
So let's get
we're
cracking
hyped,
on
we're
that.
happy, and tomorrow we are going to be playing Imperial Knights on this very YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out. If you want, you can go check out the video right now, and you'll get a notification when we go live.
Every video we do on Nights, I get more excited about that.
Honestly, yeah. The first
you just
time I read the book, I was like, cool.
discover the combos, and now...
I read the book once, I was like, hey, this is cool. I read it a second time, I'm like, I kind of like this. I read like Goonhammer's review just to freshen up a little bit. I'm like, man, I really like this.
And then we went through
do this.
Yeah.
By this time tomorrow, when I'm playing a list with Knights, after I've read it again tonight and written a list, like...
I think this is a super well-designed book.
I really like this book. It doesn't feel broken, but it feels flavorful and strong.
We've had 4 codexes in a row that have just been nuts. They've been too much. They've burned us all. Everyone in the house has gotten some amount of burned out on the game because of the power level of the books coming out. We do not enjoy that at all.
We don't.
This book looks dope, and it does not look broken. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see when we put it on the table, though.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right, well, thank you so much for your support, everyone. Really, really do appreciate it. Chaos Knights ranking soon. Oh, Phil, don't even worry. We're doing it this time tomorrow. In literally 24 hours, you'll be watching us rank the Chaos Knights.
Yep.
So make sure you check that out. But until then, have a good one.
There's so many rules in 40K, hundreds of events, and constant updates. Skip the learning curve of Warhammer and join the pros. Art of War is led by multiple world champions with decades of success. We teach clinics, stream games, and inspire you to succeed at your favorite hobby. Join our global community of gamers just like you.